Today on Extensive Chat, we are talking to an award-winning gospel artist and sound engineer, sound producer. We want to understand him better, which he is. From this interview, I'm sure the confusion will be settled right after the interview. And he's no other person than Kofi Osudia Anto, probably known as Koda. Koda, welcome.
Thank you. We've talked about this for a long time.
Yes,
we are doing it.
Yes. It's been
great.
Long.
I know.
So what happened? Koda. I just realized it's from your name.
Yes.
Kofi Osudia Anto.
Yes. My father has this habit of writing initials on books. So majority of the books in this house have K plus B, Kweku plus Beatrice on his side.
All right.
So when I was attending school, I'm from Services Primary. He labeled everything. So my big sisters had their names. So when I go to my 10, he wrote Koda on the books, so that it's always marked it from there. So one of my teachers, I think it was class 4, either class 4, class 5, picked up a book and he said, "Hey, which of you has a guy named here in class 4?" Then he said Koda. You know, I didn't respond.
You weren't sure it was you?
No, I had never mentioned it before.
Oh, okay.
Daddy had written Koda.
Okay.
But I had never mentioned it. I knew Koda was on my book. So he said Koda, I was sitting down. Then he looked at the book again and said, "Who is Kofi Duanto?" I said, "Say it is me." They say, "Have a guy?" I said, "No, have a guy." Then I explained to him. Then later I found out. But when I came, I was thinking about it. I said that. So I've used it since class 5 till now.
So you attended Infantspen?
Yes, I did Services Primary, Chapel Hill, Infantspen.
So in Infantspen, you are called Koda?
Yes, yeah, Koda. From 1 to 3, Koda.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which course?
Biology.
Biology. So you're a science student?
Yes, Biology 1.
So how are you applying the biology to the gospel industry? How does it?
Oh no. You see, I'll tell you what. Education, and I don't want to offend anybody, but if anybody has opportunity to do tertiary education, I think you should. Informal education is fantastic, and I got my informal education when I was in my national service, where I met people who didn't have any of the qualifications I had, but I didn't know half of what they knew. That was during my national service that I saw the other side of it, fisheries department.
Okay.
And I worked with people who didn't have any degree compared to what we had, but oh my word, they know what they are talking about. And my boss made sure he patched me up with one of them one day for me to know that there were levels.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess so. I got my informal education there, but the formal education is also necessary because, you know, for the course I did natural resource, which is also biology related, we didn't only do natural resource. We did a bit of geodetic, that was in second year or third year. We did a bit of social science. We did a bit of biochemistry. So at least we did French.
Bits of everything.
Okay, so you come out a well-rounded person that you are very knowledgeable, not very, but at least knowledgeable enough in other areas too. So that's what tertiary education did for me, that I think it broadened my, and even for my music. You know, it's one thing being in Takrade and being a wild player or a wild singer. But when I went to Tech, I noticed that the Lord has children. Plenty people can play like you. A lot more people can play even better than you, sing better. So it was more like a music training for me to notice that, Charlie, I'm becoming some local champion. I need to up the game.
You were playing before you went to Tech?
Oh, I've been playing since I was 10.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What? Isn't that guitar?
Guitar, drums, bass, keyboard. Since I was 10.
Alright, so just to let you know, he's been gracious enough to host us in his studio. So we are coming live from the Codex Studio.
Thank you.
In Takrade. And what, you are playing only in church or how?
Only in church.
Oh, okay.
My parents are strict. They're not strict, they're strict. So,
very.
Oh yeah, my guy. So that one is not going to work. So I stayed in church all my life. Yeah, getting it. That's where I've been.
So in church, you were just playing the drums Sundays and you come.
Yeah, but during the weekdays you get to rehearse. If you go to church
with
and there's
band.
no. Yes,
with a choir.
Yeah, with a church. Oh, you rehearse alone during the week.
Wow.
Those as was cassettes and Charlie cassettes. They 1, 2, 3 no wobble. So.
So which is your expertise? Drums, lead guitar, which of them?
I don't know. I would say I'm more of a guitarist.
Alright.
Yes, I think I'm more of a guitarist, and then I'm maybe keyboardist, and then a bass guitarist. My drums is the weakest. Oh, my drums is the weakest. I stopped playing after some time.
So let's come to your studio.
Yes, sir.
When did it start?
My studio started in my room on Tech Campus final year.
Which year was this?
2001.
Wow.
2001. And we were working on this album. Course instruments. So I was using my roommate Kweku Kunedu's Pentium 3. I think the RAM was 128. God, but it was good. 128, it was powerful. Fruity Loops, the very early version, like Fruity Loops 3 or something like that. That's what we're using at that time. So Morris is the one. Morris Babyface.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the one that introduced me to Fruity Loops, taught me my way around that thing a bit. So that's where the interest in studio really got established for me. So when I came out of school from national service, when I close and it's not too late, I go to Pastor Joe Beecham's house.
Oh, okay.
And I was working at Pastor Joe's studio till finally I started Codex Studios of my own.
Wow, interesting. At what point were you convinced that I want to do gospel?
Oh, gospel.
Infant Film didn't change you?
Infant Film is where I decided to do gospel. You know, the truth of the issue is that many people get shocked when I say this thing. I was born in a Christian home, but I didn't become a Christian till Infant Film. Oh no, brother.
How did the Infant Film? I mean, you should have attended this other, but I mean, we can.
No.
We can only pardon you. How did Infant Film play that role?
You know, I'll tell you what, Charlie. You know, Chakradi growing up as an instrumentalist, there was a way we did all of us way. You know, they shook a crack. You're getting the saying. So I remember those the people that trained me. Saturday they feel steel church amp. Oh yeah, because on funeral gig day. So when we come, they tell us that amp on what say. No, so these were the kind of people that trained me. When pastor is, I was in First Baptist Church. That woman here, she's still there. Some kinky salabi by him fee. Every time pastor is preaching, you're so lying. Then we come down from the church to the Ahifie woman, come and rock the Grand Kinky, and we had a way we could time the thing, we'll go back in time. So that's how I was raised. So we were not really crifel, we were playing in church. And the other thing too that worried me, which I'll talk to parents about, was I was very smart by God's grace. I love to read, but that was also a problem because I started reading books that were not helping me. Like, you know, those African pace setters, some of those books, they get a bit graphic with their description of the sexual. The book itself is not about anything funny, but when they get an opportunity to talk about a sexual scene or something, they are a bit graphic about it. So my primary school days, I read too much.
You're interested in those books.
I was interested in the book. It's in the book itself, but then it led to other things where I was reading too much and it was clouding up my mind. But when I went to Infant Film, I met people like Neo Kine.
Oh, you met him in Infant Film?
Yes, I met Neo Kine in Infant Film. When I went, he was in Form 5 when I went to SS1. And the fact that I met somebody who loved God with all his heart and was genuine about it, someone said that, Charlie, I want to do this thing for real.
Wow.
So one of the altar calls, I gave my life to Christ. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Neo Kine knew you personally from the first film?
Oh yes.
And that's where the relationship started?
We've known each other since 94.
Since 94?
Yeah.
What is gospel music anyway? What is gospel? It's been debated over and over. What is gospel?
You know, if we want to go by dictionary definition, gospel is any good news.
Okay.
So then if you want to say gospel music, anything that brings a sense of good news, like hope to people.
Right.
But then there's Christian music,
Yeah.
which is Bible-based music.
Okay.
That is a bit different. So when the Black Americans call a genre gospel, they don't necessarily expect you to be a Christian to sing gospel. Once you can write or sing it, you are okay.
So what do you do? Gospel music or Christian music?
Oh, I do Christian music.
Christian music.
I believe I should walk the talk.
I think if I Google your name,
Yeah.
one of the things, anything that will prefix is gospel artist.
Yeah, gospel
and it's
artist.
a lot. So I mean, is the how we define it wrong?
Oh, it's true. I am a gospel artist, but I also say that there's one other side of me that is like I play jazz too. like started on campus tech. We had this group called Simply Jazz that started doing our jazz nights in Indies Hall. You're getting the thing. So there's jazz too. So apart from being a gospel artist, I'm also like a guitar jazz performer. But that side of me is not really known. It's just the Koda gospel artist that is not known.
So what's the state of the Christian music
in Ghana?
In Ghana now.
Oh, I think we are doing well, in my opinion.
Doing well?
Yes, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. You know, for the few people that always are complaining, I think they may be getting something wrong, and I'll explain to you. You see, I am in my 40s by God's grace. That the people in their 50s and their 60s, that generation, they are used to the Auntie Amy, Auntie Helena Rabbles, Auntie Stella Dugan, daughters, their style and their mode of presentation. You are getting the thing. My generation can appreciate that style, and also the Neo Klein style, the Joe Metal style, and even the younger style. There are people who are like in their late 20s, early 30s. Charlie, my style is even boring to them. Can you imagine what they think of the other style? You are getting the thing. And one thing we must understand is that God needs a voice in every generation. So Auntie Me, Reverend Charlie Sampler generation, they can speak to their people. I have that struggle sometimes. I'll be very honest about it. When I wake up in the morning and I want to pray and I need some music to pray with, I'll be very honest. I'll go for them.
Yes. So you understand where I'm coming from.
But a 16-year-old will not play Odameko.
Oh.
He will play his generation with who I don't know who it is. Yes, they have Efe Grace and all of them that minister to that generation. But me, you know, when you are singing those songs and your voice is all over the place, I find it a bit distracting. No disrespect. But I am so used to the Don Muen. Hey, you are getting the thing. But because I'm a producer, I appreciate all styles. But when I need to get like intimate with God, it plays on me sometimes. I'll be honest.
Yeah. So that has been the contention.
Okay.
We are unable to feel anything spiritual, so we play even the worship songs.
Yeah.
And unlike you mentioned, I'm happy you are mentioning the names. You are bringing the names.
Oh.
Like Elder Miracle.
Oh, that one, the daddy there.
It moves. Yes. But this time, I don't know which of the younger generation moves you with worship.
Oh, I think SK Fibo is good. He's from Takrade. Worship. Efe Grace is extremely good. Kofi Usupepra, very, very, very good. In the worship genre, let me see. Luigi too is doing very well. But there are a couple of people. Oh, my own people from my band, LC Degajo. Great worshipper. Kojo, my keyboardist. Great worshipper. So there are people coming up.
In your songs, you like mentioning the names of your people. And
I know, right?
How do you do it? I mean, your writing prowess. People really enjoy it. They want to know how you do. Is it the Takrade style?
I would say that I'm very spontaneous.
Okay.
That's how come I struggle with studio recordings.
You do?
Oh yes, I can do a studio recording, but I love the live performances. The live performances are not scripted. You see, in Kwabodo, by the time we went on stage, I didn't. Okay, so the verse came to me the night before we sang it, and I like that.
Whoa.
Oh, I like that. Nothing will go wrong. Don't worry. I know that's a scare. Or some people, hey, if you forget, nothing will go wrong. When you go on stage, you just enjoy the moment. You are getting a thing, and then it comes to you. So you're playing something, you call somebody, say, Charlie, give me a solo, give me those. I think those spontaneous things makes the music exciting. But at the studio, the engineer in me will rise up right now, and then I start being careful. Okay, I hope the song is not 4 minutes. It's not more than 4 minutes long. Have we done this? Then all the mathematics that I don't do on stage. Once you put me in the studio, the other side of me comes up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have a band of your own?
Yes,
Koda
I
band?
do. Yes, the Koda band.
Made up of how many?
Oh, we're like 15 now.
Is it the reason why your prices are expensive to record?
Record? Oh, you mean at the studio?
Yes.
Oh, no. At the studio, I don't use my band.
You don't use your band?
No.
There was this story came up that it's very expensive to record with you. Have you heard it?
No, I have heard a few rumors, but
have you heard it?
No, I've heard a few rumors. That's what I'm telling you. I've heard a few rumors. I don't think it's expensive to record with me.
So
but
if I have a song, I have a gospel song. God has given me a song. I'm coming to record with Koda, the Codex Studio.
Yes.
How much should I budget?
You should budget the industry rates, which is what is agreed on. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
So, I believe that if something must be done,
it must be done well.
I don't know why. I don't know. I think being part of ICGC too has faults me a bit.
Excellent.
How do you know that thing? You don't know how that thing happens. So before you know, it gets engrafted in your system. If something will not be done well, I'll prefer I don't do it. I'll be very honest. When people send me songs that they want to record it, I will listen to it and decide if I want to work on it or not. Oh. Yeah, sometimes if I don't like the content, I'll prefer I don't work on it. Because I want to make sure I'll give you my best. If I think the song is not there, I'll tell you that actually the song, make work on that more.
So with that, you won't take the money?
No.
So with the one you take the money, how much are you going to take?
I take the industry rate.
Which is?
Which is the industry rate.
How much is the industry rate?
No, let me give you an example. So the industry rate is not it won't be a particular amount, but I can give you a rough idea. Yeah. Okay, good. So I use either Bludo or Francis Osei for drums. The industry rate now is 250 Ghana cedis for drums. The industry rate for would have been per song.
Per song, okay. 250
Ghana cedis
okay.
per song. Percussion is around 150. Bass is 300. You want to put it up?
So 300, 150.
What was the first 300?
You said 250.
Yes, 250
for drums.
Great.
And you said bass is
around 300 for Bright or Say or Prince Senna.
And the 150?
It's percussion.
Percussion, okay.
Where are we? And then you will need background singers. Depending on the song, let's budget like 400 Ghana cedis for the background singer. Have you noticed nothing has come to Koda so far?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do guitar.
Okay, guitar. How much is guitar?
Let me play the guitar. So give me 200. I'll play it for you.
Okay.
And then programming.
Okay.
That's the arrangement of the song and everything. Give it like 6 or maybe 700. Depends on what you want. No problem. Okay. So and the mix and the mastering, it varies.
And mastering, okay.
In Accra it goes up to 1,000. In Takrady with 650, 700 they will give you. Okay. So that's how much. Did we do horns?
No.
Please do horns, I beg you, so that the song will get horns. Horns. If you beg the guy 250, go do giveaway. Okay. So roughly that's how much it costs to do so.
So 1,004, 6, 2,000, 250, 500, 650.
Your one is really good.
And 650 by 3. Okay, so Koda.
No, it's not Koda. Codify what you're saying.
Koda, we are doing dictation here. We are doing the mental. So it's 2,950.
To produce a song, if you want all these things in there. So normally when I tell the person these things, so I tell the person
you
that
you rough it up to like 3,000.
No, I won't do that. I'll send you this, and I'll tell the person that these are the people that I'll need for the production. Some of them later will tell me that, hey, can we take the horns out? I say, okay, no problem. They will cancel the horns. Oh, but you the bass, play it for me, and don't let anybody in the crowd play it for me. Then but sometimes when we overdo that thing, we might not get what we are looking for. So I'll try and plead that we don't. So there are some things I can't do without. As for the live drums and things, I don't compromise on those things. I need that thing strong. But if maybe these BVs will give you 3 people. If I think 2 people would work, we will discuss it and see.
Should it always be played live? Can't you program them?
No, you can't program it.
Yes. And so with that, it won't be up to the 2,950.
No, it won't.
So how much would that be then?
Oh, that one. If you take away all the live stuff, can you imagine? I think it should come to like 1,000 something.
1,000.
No, to be a bit higher. 1,008 thereabout.
1,008
thereabout. If you want to do it without doing the live stuff, but It's,
You don't believe in that? Or you're not a fan of?
it depends on the color of the song. Some songs, I think when they're played live is better.
Are all your songs played live?
Yes.
All?
As in Koda?
Yeah, Koded songs.
Yes.
Wow. So you include all the percussions, the drums, the
In fact,
bass.
on this album coming up, KTK, expenditure was way too much. My God.
We'll come to that. We would really want to come to that.
The expenditure, because I get to pay all these things even though it is me.
Yes. You made an example that if Kwame Eugene had the support, he wouldn't have gone into secular music.
That's why you.
Yes. So with the 2,950,
Oh,
let's say
in
a
Accra,
random.
can I be honest?
Yes.
In Accra is like 3.5.
Okay.
Because I don't know, but Accra boys they charge slightly more than some
Yes.
of the boys.
So you made your example with Kwame Eugene, for instance, which came out online, and you were saying that if he had the help, he wouldn't have.
Oh, I think if you
yes, he
had
would have
help,
stayed.
yeah.
So with 2,900 to record a song, and if I need about 3 songs.
Okay, so you know what I think? I think maybe you should do it the way I do it. Even though I'm a producer,
Yeah.
I take things one step at a time.
Okay.
So I break it down into phases. Maybe the programming, I get to do it myself, so I do the programming. The next thing is that you save for the drums. Then you call Osei, Charlie, send me your woman over again. Then you pay for the drums. They play the drums. You know that, oh, I've crossed this junction. The next time you want to do bass, you do bass. Take it step by step. Don't take it all together. That's how I finish it.
So it's very expensive to propagate the gospel.
Very. And I think that if music is not your calling, don't do it. Because if you come in with the expectation of coming to rake money, you might be disappointed.
Has music made you any fortune?
I would say that by God's grace, I've been able to build a studio from scratch and my house for my family from scratch, aside a few other things by God's grace. But you have to be diligent. Yeah, I get it. You have to be diligent. And you notice that the monies that come up to me from this is like slightly less than half of the total that you mentioned. So that's what you have to be careful. Not be saying the momo you the 2009, no, then he starts. No. So you have to be careful. Know what is yours, know how you can save, and then you can get things done.
Does Koda record secular artists?
Oh no.
Why? Are you not being discriminatory?
Oh!
Are you not pushing away God's gifting, God's talent to people?
It's true. Heaven, sinners won't come there. Is that discriminatory?
So what?
Oh no, I'm just joking. I don't want to touch secular music. I want to do Christian. I think there are enough secular engineers out there.
No, but don't you think, Koda, if you, for instance, had this experience of reading those graphic books and know how misleading they could be?
Hey, my guy.
Yes. So if an artist, a secular artist, comes to your studio with a song which is, variance before, and you could be the best teacher.
Oh, in fact, you see, every business has their core values. You are getting the thing. You know, for a long time, there was one particular bank. I won't mention their name, otherwise we will be promoting them. But there was one particular bank. They have some yellow color like that. They were not dealing with normal customers. They preferred the merchant customers. I've already given you a clue. So when you go there, you say, "Oh, Pocho, I have 100 Ghana, I want to open an account." They look at you, the heck. They want the people who are,
bringing the tens of thousands.
That was their business model. Over time, they changed it. So everybody has a business model that they believe works for them. And for me, my business model is that I want to be a support to the Christian artists and make sure that we can push Christian music. There are enough secular engineers out there that they shouldn't have a problem.
Do you listen to secular songs?
Oh, I would say that because of WhatsApp and because of YouTube, I hear some of them.
All right.
Yes, I do.
So which of them has really gotten your attention?
Which of them has gotten my attention? Okay, so I'll tell you. It got my attention because I felt the song was very funny. It was one lady from Nigeria. Actually, it's called Tenny.
Yeah, Tenny.
That lady caught my attention. It was For Your Case.
Yeah.
It made me laugh, my God. I think it's funny. And she writes well.
Yeah.
She writes well.
What goes into songwriting for Koda?
Songwriting, I think you should have a message,
A theme.
a theme that you want to write about. And when you have a theme, it's not enough. Then the musicality is another thing that should come into play. How do you tell the story? You see, and that's where music theory and all those things will come in handy.
So a song like Things Are Not the Same Anymore.
Yeah.
How did it come to you? Were you frustrated? Was the system, the
Yes.
church system?
So I was reading the Bible, reading through Acts of the Apostles, when I noticed that what the Bible describes as the early church in Acts 1, where they said when you enter the church you couldn't tell a rich man from a poor man, and they had this communal system. The day I read it, I said, hey, listen, they be like, they again. So then it slipped out of my mouth. Things are not the same anymore. So there was one of the days I had my guitar with me, just noodling around, when this old rhythm came to me, and I said that maybe we should write something about this. So the chorus came to me. The verse, they took forever. The verse was not coming, because every time I was singing the verse I was joking. Till the day I noticed that we needed to get that thing recorded, and I just said, Master, stop the joking and sing the verse, and then let's get it. So I tried a couple of verses, and I think we got what was
a lot of problems. You had a lot of problems from that.
Oh, it's normal. I'm not an ice cream seller, so not everybody
No,
knows.
like it. But why did it become so huge a problem?
I think that was I don't know if that was the first time somebody was coming out. I don't think so.
Addressing the system
Are you sure?
that way.
There were songs before mine that addressed it, but maybe
It's
the
from Koda.
humor, the humor that was attached to it, and then the rhythm was a bit infectious. You are getting the thing. So then you are like, oh, Charlie, what the guy they do? You are getting the thing. So, and I think it helped drive the message home.
So, Koda, would you see yourself as a preacher as well?
Oh, I did a Bible school.
Oh wow.
I did.
So we are going to see Koda doing Koded evangelistic ministry.
No, not that. I would love to do evangelism, but the name and title, Sinisi. Why are they? Some people they want to be called national. Oh, no disrespect. Some people they want to be called. It's like the fitters. You know, fitters.
Yeah.
When the trainee fitters close from work, they don't even want to bath. Or if you go compare by what was who feed them, was for market cycle. So a lot of people know that hey, the boy is not a fitter. The people who are chief fitters, they'll bath in compare before they come out, because there's no point to prove. He's repaired VW for 10 years. Why should he come out with his dirty clothes? When they are stepping on, they change. But send the boy and see. Come out with the grease. Ask him, where do you work? So there are too many people who are doing the company thing. Can we do the work?
So what's the work?
Evangelism, schools ministry, and then the prisons. Oh, the last time we went there, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. And the way they are so appreciative, because we cooked, the team I went with cooked some food for them, and then they told us, oh, but we didn't come with key soap, down to the immediate, and then we sent them some corn, and the little things we take for granted, I'm telling you, and it doesn't cost too much to go and visit them. So if we could all pass through the hospitals, I've had opportunity. I don't know whether that's an opportunity, but I've been a patient at the Fian Quanta for 2.5 days before. You don't want to know. I couldn't use a washroom the entire 2 days I was there. Well, now whatever is in your system, when you get there, you see, I'm from a boys' school.
Yeah.
So we have seen things. When I say things, you understand me.
Yeah.
But to see some people just higher than things, hey brother, you get a thing, and all these things we can. When my wife gave birth to our firstborn, I was at the hospital when somebody needed 45 Ghana cedis before they would release his wife. 45 Ghana. And here was a grown man standing there crying because he didn't have 45 Ghana cedis. And the nurse says to, occasionally, Charlie, when the time comes, they say if the guy doesn't bring the 45, he's not seeing his wife nor his baby. So those are the things that sometimes touches me, that people shouldn't be going through things like that.
Yeah.
45 Ghana, you can't see your wife.
Interesting.
You get the thing. So let's reach out and help people.
On the note of your wife, people think it's very lucrative to do gospel music, so if you recruited your wife into singing?
No. She was singing long before I met her. In fact, I met her through a project she was working on. She needed somebody to work on her project, so she came to Takrady to come work with me. And ironically, before then, I didn't find fair ladies attractive at all. That's a very funny thing about me. So me, I knew that this thing that we are doing is work. It will lead anywhere. When we finish the project, brother had fallen.
So how do they?
Fallen? Let me qualify that. I mean, I fallen in love. Okay, great one.
How do the Christian brothers propose? God told me that you're my lost rib.
No. Say that in the way it is. I told her. I remember. What did I tell her? I told her, okay, fine. We've worked together, and I've noticed I've grown very attached to you. I want to date you, but I don't want to force you. Can you take time and think about it? So, hey, I'm not trying to remember. I think I told her on a Monday, STC at Tema.
You're going to see her off.
She was going to see me off.
You off instead.
Hey, so I was coming back to Takrady. So when I turned and I was going back to the bus, then she called me again. She said, Koda, then I stopped. They said, can you give me a hug? Then I do that. No. The angels have gone ahead. Charlie, so Tuesday she didn't say anything. Wednesday we're there. Wednesday afternoon she called me. She said, Maza, no pretense. Me now be waiting for you to say that in a long. There's no. Oh, my wife. But my wife is like, she's straight and honest. He said, Charlie, as I'm waiting, I don't know, maybe your mind will change. So let's talk about it in Preco. I have expected you to say, so if you have said it, let's move forward.
Is the church or the Christian brothers and sisters? I mean, sometimes they use another means. They are not being straight. That, oh, God told me to tell you this, you are my lost rib and all that.
But God has to tell me to. He knows my telephone number. No. That God told me thing, it doesn't really work. No, it doesn't work for me. Charlie, you can't live your life based on what somebody told you. Like in life, I'll tell you what, when I left the university and my parents wanted me to do an MBA or a master's in something else, I told them that, you see, let me grow up, and God forbid, even if I don't make it in life, let me know Kofi made the choice. Let me not look back and say that it's my father that said I should do this and this thing didn't work for me. So that the junction, though it was difficult, they came to understand me that I said that beyond tech, can I make that choice myself? So it's important that in marriage to make that choice, because there'll be times when you're not happy, but you should know that, Charlie, I chose this jeans. Charlie, where was so? So then I'll take you to the tailor and go like, Charlie, tailor, this is my jeans. Before find a way around them. But if it's the jeans now, you never were into the jeans, you go like, man, I didn't go and pronounce that, I didn't feel. So you throw it away somewhere then. So choose it, own it.
Well, choose it and own it. We are still talking to Koda, an award-winning artist, a Christian artist, he says. This is extensive chat. My name is Nana Christy. I'm enjoying the chat anyway. Koda, what's your favorite Bible verse?
Oh boy. Favorite, I have a couple of...
Which one will stand out that if you are to mention it, that will be the one? For that, what's your favorite book in the Bible?
My favorite book in the Bible, Romans.
Why?
There's this chapter in Romans 8. It speaks all the sentiments of my heart. I guess anything. They who are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God, and the Spirit bears witness with us that we are sons of God. The Spirit, I mean, too many verses that we are convinced that nothing can separate us from the love of God. Too many of my favorite scriptures are in that Romans 8 there. But come to think about it, the scripture that I love the most, I can't remember exactly the quotation, but it's in Job. Job said that I have made a covenant with my eyes not to look at a young lady lustfully.
This is instructive.
Job, he said, I have made a covenant with my eyes, not a covenant with God.
Is it difficult in this day when you see how
Yes, it is. I'll tell you why. Because by God's grace, every successful young man, musician, or everything, there is grace on your life. I mean, we in Christendom will call it anointing.
Glory.
And yes, and it attracts good people and it attracts bad people. So you have to have that personal conviction and tell yourself that these are my boundaries. I don't go beyond these things. And Job was so successful in the Bible, and he said that he had made a covenant with his eyes that the man me yeda. Or you don't know me, you be of the 10 Commandments. Nara, what's the man me? And nothing touches me so much that, Charlie, I'm telling you that unbelievers, when I say unbelievers, no disrespect, but people that don't believe in Jesus, who are sometimes even more disciplined than we are. Why catch and that I don't take at all. So once we have become crifedi, I'm not question for force.
And your favorite character in the Bible?
My favorite character in the Bible is David.
And David, ironically, couldn't make covenant with his eyes.
Solomon. Solo they did from pass. But you know, David, there's one thing I like about David. When God tells him that Masa, the man immediately then it's impact me. I think if we all could learn that thing, David said this is, God said to David, he's a man after my own heart. And
we all wish to.
Hey, and because someone know here there. Me, I've never done this thing before me. Brown was it. Ne efuma pacho. Let's apologize to God and move on. If we all could have that humble spirit, we'll go far.
How many children so far?
Hey, so far, pa. No. How many children by
How many
God's
children?
grace?
3. 3.
Yes.
Which of them is taken after you? And mom?
Oh, that's a great question. All 3 of them love music. The firstborn is more interested in guitar. The secondborn, he is more of a drummer. But the young girl, I'll be surprised if she's the one trying to get it. She's the one that always wants to sit by me at the studio. You know, that is a ironical thing. Every time I get to the studio and she comes in the morning, she's the one that powers my PC.
Wow.
Yes. She can power the PC on and tell me that.
How old is she?
She's 5.
Wow. She
can power the PC and tell, and when she comes and I'm sitting there, she's like, hey daddy, nothing on screen. Then she will power the thing on the app. I'm at the studio, I'm
So the first one is a boy?
Boy, girl.
Oh, okay. And so we can envisage
what?
that they will become the next Koda and
Oh, okay. No, I'll tell you something. Listen, I'm going to say, I know some people might disagree with me. Do you know I personally don't mind if they don't become musicians?
Okay.
No.
But would you mind if one of them tell you that I want to do secular music?
Hey, that day will be sorrowful for me.
Oh, really?
Very sorrowful. No, I pray they don't go that path. They can do everything, Christendom. I don't mind. But I don't want to force them to follow my path as Koda.
So,
but if they want to do music, that's also fine.
A song like Kofi Kenyatta's Things Fall Apart.
Kofi, yes, I know Kofi.
It's preached in church. We've seen the Methodist pastors using it to preach in church.
Yeah,
so if they go that path,
and they want to sing like Kofi. I don't mean Kofi has won and I've lost. He's Obompo. Nobody.
You have a relationship with him?
Kofi. Oh yeah, we are cool. We talk sometimes.
Wow, interesting. How's the Takrady background influenced you?
Oh, the Takrady has played a big role in my music. I grew up not being able to play secular music at home, but then there was at that time it was called Jojo Graveswood. He was on Twin City FM along with Maurice Bissue.
Yeah.
And there's a third one, Kwame Sedu. They were the ones blazing Twin City at that time, and they'll be playing the Western Diamonds and then the Papa Yankson. So a lot of those high life influences, that's where I got it from radio.
Oh.
Honest.
Wow.
Honest, radio. Now I come on way.
But do you still listen to the radio?
It's been a while. In fact, I want to go back on radio, so I'm looking for a job.
Why you were on radio?
Yes, I was on radio.
As
I was on Spice FM.
As what?
As a morning show host on Sundays.
Oh.
I was on radio for like two or 3 years.
I guess it was typically Christian.
It was typically Christian, yes.
So what, you go and preach on the air? You sing?
I do a morning show, but it's on Sunday.
How was it? Take us through the structure.
Okay, so the structure of the morning show was, are you going to give me a job? Okay.
I mean, I have very influential viewers
Who are going to listen to us. Please, so I'm looking for a job.
Yeah, I can assure you that this will be fruitful.
In Jesus' name. Okay, so my morning show was just like any other morning show. So I pick Christian news review, and then I do even a bit of entertainment review on the Sundays. We play music. We get a pastor when doing a preaching thing on the Sunday morning, but we get a pastor to just say a word or two, drop in some latest filler from what is happening in my friends. Because I am a studio engineer, I could get my friends to gossip about what to expect from the studios. It was a pretty interesting show.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
And you want to go back to radio?
Yes, I want to go back to radio. I don't know why, but I miss being on radio.
I googled a lot about you today.
Okay.
Before talking to you.
That's okay.
You seem to have very clean sheets.
With regards to,
there's nothing negative about you on the internet, because the internet is flooded. There's a lot
by God's
inundated.
grace, you.
How do you do it? Are
If
so
you had my
protective?
files from my primary school there.
Why they are not as pleasant?
Oh, you know the funny thing that happened? Even though I never got the courage to practice any of those things. They were in my mind. And that's what scares me, that parents must be careful, because in my cases, God has saved me.
Yeah, how boring them.
Oh, brother, they were like butterflies, they were flying. And you're getting everything. So, by God's grace, God has kept us away from trouble. It's just grace.
Wow, interesting. We're in the political season.
Yes, sir.
What is the role of the Christian in this time?
Oh, I think you should pray. Is he
Just that?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. And I think, no disrespect to any of the political parties, I deeply respect the President Nana Akufo-Addo, and then ex-President Mahama, and all the other people that are contesting. I respect all of them and what they're doing. But I seriously think that they don't hold the keys to my future.
Really?
No, they don't. I'll tell you why. You see, what controls the world is the will of God. The Lord's Prayer says, "Thy will be done on earth
As it is in heaven."
That's all we need to pray for. That if it's Nana Kwesi who is on the seat, or Kofi is on the seat, or cameraman is the one on the seat, God's will should be done. We'll all be fine. But as for politicians, you see, they come to meet a system. I'll tell you why I noticed that when I was doing my national service. That was my first encounter with civil service. And my boss, say wherever you are, maximum salute. My boss taught me a lot. My boss noticed that me what we shock at that time.
For real?
No, because I had just come out of school, and you are brainy and you are knowledgeable. So he just noticed that knowledge had puffed me up a bit. So he, that's how come I told him he paired me up with somebody like that. One thing I noticed is that the system already exists, and there's like, we wanted to paint our office, and I told my boss, why haven't we painted the office? So he said, Mr. Hanto, as I used to tease me, he said, Mr. Hanto, okay, so we need to write a letter to Sekendi. Sekendi needs to write to the original, we had an office in Sekendi, so they have to write to the original coordinating council. They have to write to Accra, for Accra to approve a bucket of paint, so that they give they give Takra the money to go to buy. Oh my God. So I noticed that, and there are things that people in the system who are being paid, but maybe they don't necessarily, I can't say the way it is, but my boss made me understand that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate that there's a system. And you just don't come and say that. So when he tricked me, he said that, if I made you boss tomorrow, what will you do? Come and see me. I said, I thought you should say, Mr. Anto. So I have learned that civil service and the whole thing, politics of a nation, is a system. And it won't take one government to rid it of all the ills that we see. it will be a gradual process. So we shouldn't expect night and day when we move from one color to the other. Only God can do that thing for us.
And you don't think the Christians should enter into politics to influence? So just like your church, ICGC, it says raising leaders,
yes,
shaping visions,
yes,
and influencing society through Christ.
You've been spying on us or something like that.
Influencing society through Christ. In politics, you can influence society too.
Yeah, you can. In fact, I wouldn't have a problem with any Christian that goes into politics. All I'll say is that remember why you went there. Because when you go there, you'll be obeying the tide. So just remember why you are there, you'll be okay.
And Koda wouldn't want to enter into politics.
There's some level of disorder that I can't stand. So they'll sack me. Did you hear what I said? There's some level of disorder that I can't stand.
So let's say Pastor Joe Bichem grew up at New Site, so Effian constituency. You are here.
Sofujo is a politician.
Yes, I'm giving you instances.
Sofujo is too gentle.
I'm giving you instances where you say Takrade constituency.
Okay.
We have
I grew up in Chapel Hill.
So Takrade constituency. You and Mrs. Emmy Newman there as well, and we have a couple of you influencers who are purposed in your heart that you are going into politics to change. That's the sport that you are talking about. Because if you are leaving it for quote and unquote the world to operate this, we'll still have this disorder. Your daughter 5 year will grow up and still meet this, because none of you.
You have a point. I won't deny it. You have a point, but you should be careful you don't get corrupted, because the system can swallow you up. Yeah, getting the thing. The system can swallow you up. So you have to. Okay, I'll give you another example. It's a joke. So where I did my national service, there was a particular day that we had to go and prosecute the fishermen. They come to the office before that day. I mean, a day before that day, with a basin of fish. So assuming we are supposed to take them to court on Wednesday, and the basin comes there maybe on Monday, brother. Wednesday, what are you going to talk when you get to court? The fish taste is still fresh in your mouth now. That's what I'm saying. That the system is away. And so, I was very naive at that time. So I kept asking them, why do they bring us fish on this particular day? Then somebody looked at my face as if they said that, I'm because I don't know. They are getting the thing. So I've understood that, Charlie. The system is the way it is.
What frustrates you in the church politics, in the ministry politics, if there's anything like that?
Oh yes, I mean, what frustrates me sometimes is the fact that, in my opinion, and it's my opinion, I think that we sometimes want to hold people down too much. In my opinion, everybody has a vision. In other words, you may have people that you raised up, that you're working with, like maybe even this cameraman that we are working with. Nothing stops him from having a vision of his own. That he too wants to grow his own channel one day. But I think when it comes to Christendom, we have this thing where we believe that, Charlie, no, we are building Koda. So Pettingle or Kojo or any of my people has no right to build something of their own. I struggle with that theory. I think that people come to us sometimes so that we can be the shoulders that they can stand on. But in Christendom, that struggle is really there with us. We have this thing of, hey, stay with us, don't go anywhere, you are spoiling the vision, you're doing this thing. I don't really know.
And what are you happy about in the new order in Christendom?
I'm happy that we have a younger generation of preachers and ministers. Like Neokai has a church by God's grace. Kwesi Oting has one. Yes, and a few of my friends are about to start.
What's stopping you?
I haven't heard that voice yet. Yes, I haven't heard that voice yet. So I've not done that. But it tells me that a new generation is coming up, and hopefully we'll see things a bit differently from their perspective too.
But in the next 5 years, can we be assured that Codex Studio will still be integrated, or you're looking forward to scaling up, moving to Accra headquarters, having a branch? What's the plan?
That's a good question. I am trusting God that we can have Codex Studio scale up, and then have pilot studios in other venues. But I still would want to keep the central Codex Studios in Takoradi. I want us to build, by God's grace, if we can build something bigger and something more extensive, so that, assuming this was Studio D, that we're doing something, there should be other people working in C, B, and A who are also doing their own things, that they don't have to wait for us to finish the interview. You're getting me? But the reason why I need the pilot studio is that sometimes people find it very frustrating, because when we're talking about this, we didn't talk about transportation.
Yeah.
So if the person decides to take a flight to Takoradi, that'll be an extra 900 Ghana cedis. That's where sometimes, if the person says that maybe it's getting it too expensive to record, I would understand. Because, so I found friends of mine in Accra, like I say, like Joe, Amua, a few people that I can say, "Oh, Charlie, I beg, I've done this guy's production. Can you record his vocal for me in Accra?" So they recorded and sent it to me. But over time, I think we'll try to go to get something there, so that maybe one weekend out of every month I go and hang out in the Accra studio and then get stuff done there too. Because the transportation bit, I need to be smart about it, because for now it's not a competitive advantage for me.
Interesting.
It's not.
I've been signaled that our time is up, but
That's
I want to know, which of the songs did you record here? The videos did you record here? Hosanna.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes. Only Hosanna, and I think you have this medley.
Whose medley is that? Made. Is it the one I'm playing the organ?
Yes. Was it here?
Yeah, the organ was here.
Oh, okay.
The organ was here.
So, new album coming up.
KTK.
Why that
train?
Why that title? That's what God gave you. You prayed and God revealed KTK.
I'm not spooky like that. KTK, because I think that the songs on the album take you through a roller coaster journey. There are fast songs, there are slow songs, there are mid-tempo songs, there are happy songs, there are reflective songs.
How many songs?
There are 12 tracks, but 10 songs.
How?
The first track is just an orchestration. It's just me playing an instrumental version of some of my notable songs.
Okay.
And it also ends with me playing something else, but the songs themselves are 10.
10 songs. Which one is your favorite?
Ooh, it's hard to tell. I have a lot of them as favorites, but I think I love the song Game Over.
Game Over.
Yeah.
Is it similar to Things Are Not the Same Anymore?
It ain't.
Game Over. Koda is quitting music.
Oh, let's wait and find out.
Game Over.
That's a good one. I need to be thinking about it.
That'll be a good headline.
I'm telling you, Game Over. Is he quitting music? No, we are not going. Oh wow, but that was really smart. Game Over. Is he quitting music?
Yeah.
Wait.
So, KTK.
Yes, KTK. I mean, we will get to enjoy it very soon. The full
None
thing.
of them.
But Asada is coming out. Depending on when this interview airs.
Yes.
Asada is coming on the 9th of November.
Yes.
Video and audio.
Wow.
Yes.
So, take us to Asada.
Oh, Asada was produced by my Ivorian friends.
Okay.
Miewe's people. They produced that song. Yes. So it has a lot of the Freddie Miewe influence in it.
Wow.
Yeah, it does. They produced that song for me. So I think I only played small guitar, but everything was done by the Ivorians.
Your song, Hosanna,
Yes.
ended in the club. They were. Are you aware?
No!
They were being played in the club.
You kill me.
They are played in the club and in parties, not Christian parties.
Oh, that is good.
But it comes and people jump to it.
We praise the Lord.
But
But when they say yes, we dinkunim, then I'm
that's the
okay.
key.
Then I'm okay.
I think I'm one of those who promoted the song.
In the club.
No, I don't go to the
Honest.
club. I don't get to the club. No, I don't. No.
Charlie, but if they will play yes, we dinkunim,
Yeah, that's it.
in a club, hey,
Yes,
please,
they do.
they should.
They do.
I don't
see-
yes, so wait dinkunim also.
And you see the friends status and the Snapchat and
Yes,
the
I saw. Yeah, I saw a
Yes.
few of the weddings.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Okay. Has Asada got that medley, that tempo? Or it's faster?
Asada is slightly faster than Hosanna.
Whoa.
Let me see. Hosanna. It's about the same thing. It's about the same thing.
What's it about that tempo? The new generation. Generation X.
You know, okay, so I'll tell you one secret. Our normal heartbeat is 120 beats per minute. That's the tempo of our hearts. If a song should be either 120 or above, that's one clue I've given you.
Wow. Wow, interesting.
That's one clue I've given you. That's how come those sports music, they're around 130. The ones that they use for the sports program. The other one, they're taking it above your normal
heartbeat.
Yes.
So how long did it take you to record the KTK?
Roughly, KTK took like 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks to record 10 songs. Wow, that's professional.
Really, it's because I don't love changing my mind. When there's a plan, I follow it. Yes, so it was this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing, then we just went.
I'm doing my best to get something out from this album, but he's so tight-lipped and
ask me any question you want.
Protective of the album, and
ask me. I
just wanted to be sure if we can get a snippet of the Maseda, and he was just so he was just comparing it. Koda, it's been wonderful talking to you. I've really enjoyed this. I think we should do this again.
We should do this
after KTK. Yes, after KTK.
Yes, we should.
This is Extensive Chat. My name is Nana Kwesi, and we came to you live from Codex Studio.
Yeah.
He's been gracious enough to host us in his studio, and you've seen this before. The studio. Yes, we did the Hosanna. This is where the video was recorded. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you too.